All right, so let's introduce ourselves. If it's your first time here, welcome to A Shot in the Dark, a semi-weekly podcast, sometimes, depending on who's here. But main goal here, talk about movies, movie news, entertainment in general, really whatever we find interesting. Typically, we try to do like a new movie, and then we'll do something that we haven't seen before. So, yeah, let's get right into today's topic. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, sorry.
Anthony, you want to go?
Go!
I was waiting for you, dude.
Go!
Okay, dude. I mean, I'm James. I don't really have much to talk about today because we're talking about JoJo today.
Yeah.
I saw the last episode though, so
The last episodes.
I'm all caught up. Well, I'm not all caught up, but I'm caught up where it matters.
And I'm Anthony. Most of you know me from my very popular YouTube channel, Mega Jumbo Shrimp.
Yes.
And I am the JoJo maniac,
He is the JoJo expert, if it were.
if you will.
Yeah. All right, so Vento Aureo finale. What did y'all think? I mean,
Bro,
having read the
I already
manga,
read that
yeah,
shit, bro.
there's not a whole lot to sort of comment on.
I'm kind of interested to see James's comments on it since, like, first of all, he doesn't watch the show.
Yeah.
Second of all, he started watching it during the last arc of Part 5. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what he thinks about the whole Sleeping Slaves arc and the end of Diavolo.
How do you say it? Is it Diavolo or is it Diavolo? I've heard it
I
both
say
ways.
Diavolo.
I've heard it both ways. I know that it's, literally the Italian word for devil, so technically it's Diavolo. But I don't know, Diavolo just feels more natural, if that makes sense.
No, I don't like Diavolo.
Well, I mean, that's how they say it in Japanese. Diablo.
Yeah, the Japanese say a lot of things weird.
Sorry. James, proceed. If you want.
What on my thoughts on what the last episode was like?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last episodes, bro.
It was really interesting. Whenever I opened it, I was really confused because I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember being in an elevator in the last episode.
Nice.
And then there was some dude in a green shirt that I didn't know. And yeah,
That's a fair assumption.
there's a lot of confusing things, but apparently it was a flashback.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't really sure what the point of it was, because then like all of a sudden there's a stone, right? And I guess
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
supposed to be like when that stone shows up, if you're in the stone, you're gonna die or something like that. But whenever the stone shows up later in the episode, it's just clear and blank. And then that pink-haired girl's in the stone or something like that. I don't know. It's really weird. And then there's a turtle behind it, which I know where the turtle came from, but why does it have a key in its back? I don't know. There's a lot of questions unanswered.
Okay. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
You go ahead and explain it a little bit, Aaron.
Okay. So yeah, jumping in the last arc was definitely it's an interesting perspective for you, I imagine,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. Like the green guy, his name is Fugo, and he is a main character up until like the 20th episode, when he chooses not to betray the gang, and then they just literally leave him behind and forget about him for the rest of the entire part.
Interesting.
So that flashback is like when he's still a part of the gang.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, that's a fair assumption, because it's real easy to forget about Fugo.
Yeah, he only had one fight in the whole show.
One fight, like 2 episodes.
Yeah, it was 2 episodes long. Yeah, he kind of just left the gang when they decided to betray the boss.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me wants like, American style like linear storytelling. Where like typically you can write a character off, but it's not like tradition to like just leave them behind completely, like Fugo is. Like I would have
Well,
preferred
what
him come back in
interesting
the final like arc. You know.
James, did you watch the fight between the doctor guy with the green lines on his face?
He was there when we were watching it. It was when we were all together.
Oh yeah.
And he was
You
like,
remember that,
"What
James?
the fuck is this?"
I don't.
Well, anyways, one interesting thing is that Araki was going to make that. Originally, the Green Day and Oasis fight was going to be a fight against Fugo, but he couldn't go through with it because it made him so sad.
Yeah, that would have made me sad. But not as sad as Bucciarati.
That was, oh man.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not so much the actual like fight against King Crimson and Bucciarati, but really just like the aftermath of that, like seeing him just slowly fade away. Right.
Yeah.
Up until the
Okay.
end.
That was so sad. Well, okay. So one thing that because I still kind of don't get Sleeping Slaves as an art, right? And Rolling
Yeah.
Stones. Okay. So Rolling Stones is a stand, and you know if you appear in the stone, then that's your fate. Like it shows how you're going to die.
Yeah.
And you can't change it. And if you're not in the stone, then it's not your turn to die. It's not
yeah.
your time to die. So, it showed Bucciarati in the stone, and we know that he got killed, in Venice when he was saving Trish from the boss.
Yeah.
When he got killed by King Crimson. So one thing I don't understand is like the whole thing of Rolling Stones is that like you can't escape your fate, but Bucciarati did exactly that when his body continued to live on, and he was able to help his friends all the way through.
Well, I
to the
mean,
very end.
ultimately, it's not wrong because it's the way he did die, is because of complications from that. Technically, he's just a walking corpse. You know, it's literally
Yeah.
just his resolve that's keeping him alive. So, it's the stone's not wrong. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. The whole like Rolling Stones like Sleeping Slaves arc, for me, it kind of kills the momentum of the finale. I mean, it's
You
just,
think so?
just my
The
opinion.
way that they structured it in the anime was really weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's you start out and then it's the final part of the boss fight.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to, well, actually, not even, like, the episode begins with part of that flashback, which was a cool transition. I like that, actually. Like, it goes from the bird on the windowsill to the overhead view of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
That was cool. But then, going back and forth in between, it was a little weird, like, in terms of the plot structure. But even in the manga, like, it was, for me, it just killed a lot of the momentum for it.
Okay. I gotta say this, dude. The way that Diavolo goes out, just in general, it's so fucked.
It's
he
terrifying.
He gets the most fucked like ending for any villain in the whole entire like JoJo series.
It's like, just fucking kill me.
I know you haven't finished part 7 yet.
No, I'm halfway through.
Yeah, that one's kind of fucked, but it's not like this. I like. What happens to Diavolo almost makes me feel bad for him.
Yeah. I think they do a good job of communicating that in the anime. Just like the look of terror on his face, like every time he has to deal with that.
To relive a death.
Like to the point where we pick up like the very last scene that he's in, where he's with the
little girl.
Yeah, is that little girl supposed to be Donatella, like Una?
Oh, I don't think so.
Is that the implication?
Oh, I don't think so.
Because it kind of looked like her, but that may just be me.
No, I think it's just because like the faces of JoJo characters look really similar.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, like even in that scene, you can see like he's already breaking. Like he doesn't even know what's gonna happen, and he's just like, "Stay away from me," which is absolutely terrifying, honestly. Like just reliving your death over and over and over.
If we go over some of the villains' deaths, you got Cars from part 2. That one's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
So at the end of part 2, he
A
just gets
literal
launched
rolling
into
stone.
space. He's not rolling though; he's in space. Dude,
You
James
can-
has
you can
no
make the
idea what the
argument.
fuck we're
You can
talking
make the
about.
argument.
Holy shit! He's all like, "What the fuck is this series?"
I told him
I'm
I
just
was
on
like,
Twitter.
I don't know if you want to participate because We're gonna be talking mainly JoJo.
All right, let's talk some more about JoJo. James, why do you refuse to watch the whole opus of JoJo?
It's not that I refuse. It's just it's so much, and I don't really care
It is a lot.
that often.
It's not a lot. Don't start.
It's in the grander context of things, like compared to One Piece. It's
the
not
anime barely passes 150 episodes.
I don't know.
One Piece is too fucking big.
Finally, you admit it.
Well, I've never refuted this. If people are getting into One Piece, I'll tell them do not watch the anime. Just read the manga. Just read the manga. It's so much faster.
But yeah, you know what I'd like to see?
I would have loved to see a part 6 tease, but we did.
Yeah, that would have been great. Part 6 never, am I right?
Wow, very funny.
I know. Very original. You know what would have been cool?
What's up?
Like a like, you know how Araki went back and did like a side story for Kira after, like, you know, in the afterlife he's like a detective.
Yeah.
I forget what the story's called.
Dead Man's Question, something like that.
Yeah, like something like that, but for Diablo.
Nah, that sounds
Diavolo.
boring.
I think it'd be cool because you could make a really cool, like,
They do have
drama,
that
like,
Purple
to-
Haze feedback, which I haven't read yet.
like to a certain point, you know, like after having died so many times, he's just forgotten who he is, similar to Kira, you know. So he just wakes up, you know, and he's like trying to live in that moment, but each time it's a different death, you know.
Yeah, but I don't think that it would get to that point because the whole point of
It's not sustainable.
Gold
but-
Experience Requiem is like he'll never be able to like achieve truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The
That's
truth of
that's
his
the
death.
irony of Requiem. It's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Plus, how does he have the time to like go do like some Kira adventure after he dies when he's just gonna be dying over and over?
Who says he has to die immediately? You know,
That's true.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just going
you
off
could
of
easily
context.
you could
of
easily
what we
make
were
something
given.
out of that. I don't know, just spitballing. So, overall, I liked the final like Requiem arc, but yeah, I feel like Rolling Stones really killed a lot of the momentum. But I know why Araki wrote it in right at the end. It's because things were getting too dark, and he wanted to bring back that like lighter, sort of like gang dynamic, you know,
Yeah.
sort of what it was in the beginning. Either that or he missed Fugo.
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't give Fugo his the Shueisha comics look. Because I don't. You read the manga, didn't you, for part 5 or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. The red Fugo with white hair.
Mhm.
That was a really good look.
I don't know. I like the green and the blonde. Can we talk about the wardrobe change at the end, like the very last frame?
I freaking loved it. I loved it because Giorno has like a Dio's palette from the end of
Yeah,
part 3.
Awaken Dio.
Yeah, that was a really nice touch. Also, a callback to Dio in the new opening with Gold Experience Requiem, where he's turning back
The
time.
fingers.
The fingers and the way that his hair is flowing.
Yeah.
It's exactly like Dio. That was like some serious freaking nostalgia and fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how to respond to that after that, because he just. It's a very linear path we're taking.
Yeah.
One that will never reach truth.
There's actually, the thing about JoJo is like you can try it isn't. Like all of JoJo is pretty stupid. It's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it from the outside in, it's like if somebody tries to ask you to explain what JoJo is, you're gonna have a hard time trying to explain what it is.
Yeah. I mean, part 7 is just fucking goofy as hell. Like, I was fucking cracking up at Scary Monsters during the Scary Monsters arc. Dr. Ferdinand's like, I needed to retrieve the corpse part, so I turned Dio into a dinosaur. Like, what?
For no fucking reason.
Oh, and every time Funny Valentine
you do get
is
some bits of greatness.
Yeah, I mean, it's good so far. It's captivating, at least.
Yeah, so you have, like, in part 7, you got, like, Dead Man's World. Or Dead Man's...
True Man's World is fantastic.
Yeah, True Man's World.
I love the...
Incredible arc.
I love, like, the influence of, like, Westerns. Like, on that arc specifically. Like, the way the characters are placed and drawn. But,
Just hearing the name, is that supposed to be, like, Truman Show?
I don't think so.
It's True Man's World.
Yeah.
It sounds similar.
Yeah, you gotta read through the whole thing to understand.
Yeah, can we talk about Funny Valentine real quick?
What about him?
How awful he looks is in his early character design.
Oh, where he's really fat?
Yeah, and he's got a huge head.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's actually... You'll understand why he looks different later, but that's actually...
I'm sure there's a reason.
Like, that's how Funny Valentine is supposed to look.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah. So you haven't gotten to Catch the Rainbow or Tubular Bells or anything
I'm on Catch the Rainbow right now.
That's one of my favorite stands throughout all of Part 7.
Really?
Muted himself.
I'm kicking you off my show, Anthony.
That is literally not my fault. I can't control that.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Who else wants to lead the conversation?
I don't know what to talk about.
Unless we're done with
regarding
JoJo.
Here's one. You run that JoJo Bizarre playlist, don't you?
I do, yeah.
I freaking knew it.
Doesn't it have your Instagram on there?
It's got my Twitch on there. That should have been the did giveaway.
Oh, I didn't even see that. All that I saw from the beginning was that the only two people following it when you first started out were me and Albert.
Yeah. I don't know. It's grown quite a bit in the short time that it's been up.
Yeah, you have like almost 100 followers now.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Since you're like should have been Ride My Seesaw.
That's a good song.
It's okay. I feel like Nights in White Satin really encapsulates moody blues.
Next one you should do is definitely Catch the Rainbow, though. Not only is it like a good like arc and a good like fight in the series, but it's also an awesome song.
Oh yeah.
Like the song itself is like, it's so somber.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to go through like chronologically or if it even matters. You know what I mean?
You didn't even start chronologically.
I know, but like I started at just a point.
You're at part 5.
Yeah.
If you wanted to start chronologically, you would have started with Wheel A Zeppeli from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. I don't know, the thing that's like difficult about the references that are like specifically bands like against like a song is that you have to choose which song, which is really
that's
difficult
true.
to do. Especially
Aerosmith
is really hard for me to do because I hate Aerosmith.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever like had any Aerosmith songs that I was like, wow, this is really good.
I fucking despise them.
Why?
I hate Steven
Explain your
Tyler's.
hate.
I hate Steven Tyler's grandma voice
Oh.
and his grandma face. Hey yo. That was kind of mean.
I think for Steely Dan, Dirty Work would be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be a really good one. I don't know, there's a lot of subtle Vietnam undertones there. Because that song's about Vietnam, if you didn't know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Came out in 71, right on the eve of the U.S. pulling troops
It
out.
makes sense now that I think about it. And
I'm a fool to do your dirty work.
Context of thinking
Yeah.
it was like a relationship.
I mean, you can read it either way, but I'm pretty sure it's about Vietnam.
The one that I was surprised about that I didn't even really understand at first was 21st Century Schizoid Man.
Yeah.
That one was like, whoa, it really is about Vietnam now that you think about it.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of Vietnam researching. So I'm taking a history course right now. I think I told you.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a history course about Vietnam and the influence of cinema. It's like we're just watching a whole bunch of Vietnam movies and everything. And just going back and watching it, it's just like it's awful. Like
Yeah, this is
I think
when I did my World War I poetry essay, that thing made me depressed.
Yeah, like I just walk out of class every day and I'm just somber. Like I think we all instinctively know like Vietnam was a bad war, but you don't realize how bad it was until you like see things from like a first person like view,
Yeah.
like documentaries and stuff and letters. And
the thing about Vietnam is like it's a bad war and it is that bad or even worse than you think it is. World War I is you hear how bad it is, but you really don't have any idea how terrible it was. There was no way to document it other than like static pictures where you can barely see stuff. Like Vietnam had the privilege of like being filmed,
Yeah, the so-called television war.
Yeah. The World War I didn't have that, and I think that's pretty terrifying.
That is very
considering
terrifying,
that
actually.
Way more people died in World War I.
Oh yeah.
And it was completely just like a bloodbath all around the world.
Yeah. I think what's worse about Vietnam is just like the overall feeling of futility.
That's true.
Like just being drafted, knowing that you're sentenced to die, and just sort of living with it.
And
like
if you know
that you're not fighting for anything. You're fighting for a war that doesn't matter, yet you still do it anyway.
Dang, dude, like that's some serious.
You can like there are letters and stuff, where they talk about that. It's so damn depressing.
The boss's vision for the world was to have peace, so soldiers didn't have to fight. But Big Boss saw that as giving soldiers a purpose, so he always wanted the world in a perpetual state of war. Look at that dude just casually bringing up Metal Gear.
It's an interesting ideology.
And just what a great series. Metal Gear, Jojo, two Japanese creators.
How great.
Yeah, dude, incredible.
Yeah, I need to go back and replay them, but I haven't.
I replayed Metal Gear Solid 2 the other day, and oh my gosh, what a philosophical meltdown.
Yeah, I saw your story.
Sorry.
So, are we done talking about JoJo?
I think so. I think we've gone past JoJo.
Talk about Reservoir Dogs? Did you guys watch Reservoir Dogs?
See, the last time I watched Reservoir Dogs was like junior year of high school. But I've seen the movie like 10 times, so.
Nice. So why don't you start out with your thoughts?
It never gets old. I think the most interesting thing about Reservoir Dogs is, the thing is like the story isn't that captivating. In fact, the story kind of sucks. And I think the whole premise of everything is kind of boring, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the way that Tarantino has these like characters, like the way they interact with each other and how they're connected to each other is what makes the movie.
I completely agree.
Yeah, because you got, who was it, Mr. Blue, that's like the psychopath that nobody really likes. Mr. Pink is kind of like paranoid, and he just wants to like get shit like dealt with,
Yeah.
And who was the one played by Harvey Keitel?
Mr. White.
Mr. White and Mr. Orange. That's a very interesting one.
That was
'Cause Mr. White,
that's a really interesting like character pairing
yeah,
because
Mr.
they're
White, the criminal, like the old criminal, he's like one of the oldies, is paired up with Mr. Orange, who's an undercover cop, and you have Mr. White actually caring for Mr. Orange.
yeah, it's crazy.
But I don't think that feeling's ever reciprocated until like the very end of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree with you in like the plot itself is actually not that interesting. Like it's just the way like baseline it's just like, diamond robbery goes bad, head to a warehouse, find the rat. It's not that interesting, but the way that it's told, in a non-linear style.
Yeah,
and it's really a character study if anything else.
Yes, 100%. Because like the thing that Reservoir Dogs shows you is that you don't need these big bombastic sets or anything. Most of the movie literally takes place inside of that warehouse. You get a few backstory scenes. You got the one in the diner, which is pretty interesting, which shows like all the characters. Then you got the one inside of Mr. White's house. You got Mr. Orange's whole backstory of him like training to like go undercover,
Yeah.
Then you've got the one of Mr. Orange being shot in the car. The one of Mr. Pink running down the street and stealing a car. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, you're missing the Mr. Blue scene where they talk in the boss's office.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Cabot, something Cabot.
Something like that.
Joe,
the one where
Joe
the guy
Cabot.
that wears and then his son is the one with the
Nice Eddie.
with
Nice
the
guy,
tracksuit.
Eddie.
Yeah, Nice Eddie.
I don't know why, but he reminds me of Jonah Hill for some reason. That actor, the one that plays.
Yeah,
Nice Guy.
actually, yeah, he really does remind me of Jonah Hill.
And it's not.
Is it because he's fat, dude?
It's not the physical resemblance. It's just like the line delivery in the same way. Like if you've seen, there's a movie that came out a couple years ago. It was called War Dogs. It was Jonah Hill and Miles Teller, and they were.
No, I didn't watch it, but I remember seeing the trailers for it.
Yeah.
They were like selling weapons.
Yeah, they
and
were gun
Afghan
runners.
service and shit, right? Yeah.
It's that exact same kind of tone in his line delivery in that movie, compared to the actor's line delivery in this movie. It's just like it's almost spot on. It's really freaky because they're not related at all.
Yeah, wasn't this Tarantino's like one of his first movies?
This
also?
is his debut film.
Yeah, wow, interesting.
Yeah, do you know he's actually in the film as well? As Mr. Brown.
Oh yeah. He's the one that.
He's telling that
doesn't he
nasty
gets
story
killed,
at the
doesn't he?
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets freaking shot.
Yeah, and then they're driving away, and then like the blood starts flowing into his eyes.
Yeah, he's
That's
like,
why the car crashes. Yeah. We need
Tarantino's in most of his films.
We need a demise for a character like that in the Tortellinis.
We already have Alex's like terrible demise, which is good.
Yeah, you're the executioner.
I gotta pull the trigger.
Sad to say, Anthony, there's no use of the N-word in the Tortellinis.
Dude, I don't need that, alright?
I'm not Tarantino, okay?
Alright. When you drove up to my house, did you see a sign outside that said cold pop storage?
But yeah. I definitely like it more than Pulp Fiction, I think.
Reservoir
for
Dogs?
me,
I don't think I like it more.
It's just it's a much more like streamlined narrative. Just because
I definitely respect it more than Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Plus, I think there's a lot more interesting stuff going on, like visually, like with the camera and everything. There's a lot of really cool tracking shots that I almost want to replicate for the Tortellinis. Because you know what? Tarantino doesn't own the tracking shot.
Thinking about it, like, what's your favorite Tarantino movie?
It's either this one or probably Kill Bill.
Interesting. Well, most people I've met say Kill Bill.
Yeah. The first one's just really solid.
Yeah, it's really, really good. For me, it's Hateful Eight. I think that's his best.
Hateful Eight for me was just like spiteful. Like the whole
You didn't
film.
like it?
I mean, it's how do I put it? It's just like I don't know. It's just it feels like despair, which I mean I guess is the point.
The reason I like it so much is because it's like it's so similar to another one of my favorite movies, and that's The Thing.
Yeah, I can see
It's
that.
like it's so similar to The Thing, and I know that Tarantino was looking at The Thing as inspiration for that movie because he used one of the songs from the soundtrack of The Thing in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, I didn't know that.
It's like the song's called Bestiality, and it wasn't in the movie of The Thing; it was on the soundtrack.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's by Ennio Morricone, so
Ah, that's cool. I know him.
you know him, dude?
Yeah, personally.
No, you don't.
He's scoring the tortellinis actually. It's supposed to be
shit.
it's supposed to be a surprise, but
Bro. No, he's not.
yeah, you know me. I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan.
Yeah, for some reason.
It's hard for me to. I know that you should separate a person's art from the person, in order to view it objectively.
It's really hard not to.
But it's hard not to when there's so much of Tarantino in his films. And I don't mean that like, oh, he's like in the movie. I mean like his personality, his
Like
writing
weird
style.
foot fetishes.
Yeah, his foot fetish, his proclivity for the N-word,
Okay.
his extreme
Now,
violence.
Can we speak about how gross the foot fetish is?
Yeah.
You've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, the scene where
Freaking
what's her
awful.
name? What's the actress's name? The
can't
Mexican
remember.
chick. The one that's like the vampire queen or whatever. Oh, when she's pouring the tequila down her foot, that like through her toes into Tarantino's mouth. That scene almost makes me gag. It's so gross. It's so disgusting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It feels like a lot of what he does is just an excuse to satisfy his foot fetish.
He's a real Dan Schneider. Or what was that dude's name? From
Rob
Nickelodeon?
Schneider. Yeah.
Rob Schneider. It was Dan Schneider then.
Wait.
No, he's talking about Dan Schneider from Nickelodeon.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
he did-
Rob
so he went
Schneider?
on-
Okay, I was thinking of Rob Schneider.
No,
Rob
you're
Schneider's a
thinking of
much
someone
different
else.
person.
Wait, who's Rob Schneider?
He's a comedian.
Does he also have a weird Nickelodeon foot fetish?
No.
No, but his daughter was
Well,
on a
he might.
Nickelodeon show.
Who knows?
Rob Schneider.
I think so. Right?
Okay. Yeah, he was in The Animal.
Yeah.
Dan Schneider wrote like Zoe 101 and Victorious and Drake and Josh and all those shows. Yeah, there's a lot of weird foot fetish things going on in that
Yeah.
in those shows.
Yeah. Where were we before foot fetishes?
We were talking about Rob Schneider's hit role in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, can we talk about how Tarantino almost killed Uma Thurman by putting her in a car without
yeah.
brakes? He's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, in Kill Bill, right?
Yes.
Dang.
It's
Come on,
astounding. It's astounding to me how people in today's current climate can still support him in spite of everything that's.
Bro makes good movies, bro.
Shut up.
He does.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Name a bad Tarantino film other than Jackie Brown.
Hateful Eight.
Layer cake.
All right, buddy. We're gonna have to settle this face to face.
No.
I will not take this Hateful Eight slander. All right. The movie's incredible. You're just too dumb.
I guess so. Film bro.
I really appreciate like weirdness.
But I respect the man as an artist.
Okay,
a
so you
person.
keep saying that I'd like David Lynch, and I think you're right because I really like. One of the main reasons I like Kojima is because like his shit's so dumb. It's just like JoJo. Metal Gear Solid is so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. But like
Yeah.
inside all of the dumb is like this really like deep philosophical message about
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of, like,
soldiers. and like the state of the world and anti-nuke and anti-war like messaging. It's really interesting, but it's just weird how all of that's buried under like a dude named Vamp that's literally a vampire kind of, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, anything that's like steeped in like that sort of like deeper like philosophical thinking, I always found that super interesting. Like even Bioshock, you know, like it's a very political game,
Bioshocks.
actually. You should talk
Oh
about
no,
You
dude.
should talk about.
Let's talk about motherfuckers that keep saying that politics shouldn't be in video games.
You should talk about Bioshock in
Oh,
your essay.
yeah, I really should. I mostly have been talking about because like
It's
one of I
the whole
asked the
fucking
person on
point.
Twitter, um, what their example of a politically charged game and a political game would be, right? Since apparently there's this huge difference, right? Like this ginormous difference. And they said, oh, Fallout and then Wolfenstein. Fallout's political, but Wolfenstein um, is politically charged. I was like, okay, I can kind of get the political charged thing from Wolfenstein. I mean, you're literally killing Nazis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that should be kind of an American thing, but like, if you want to get technical, then yeah, it is politically charged. It's anti-fascism, you know. But then like Fallout, he's like, that's not politically charged, and I was just really confused because literally Fallout 1 opens with a bunch of commercials playing, American commercials about commodities that you can buy, and as it slowly zooms out, you see that the world's been destroyed by nuclear warfare. So just like in the first cutscene of the first game, you have this just juxtaposition, you know, going from like this really like, oh, this is like the luxuries of life to like the destroyed world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you get what I'm getting at here?
Yes, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay, because these people that I argue with, I doubt that they could do like even a high school level analysis on anything. I bet if they read Lord of the Flies, they'd just think it's about a bunch of kids on an island that kind of go crazy and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, everything's so base level for people. I think the worst one was this guy on Twitter that literally said that Metal Gear Solid was just about taking care of the terrorists, like getting rid of the bad guys. And oh, that got me so heated.
Yeah, that's a good one. You
I
should
don't know, dude, the topic gets me heated.
you should include some of those tweets and then just cross out the names and then you can put them up on screen.
I'm
in your
not going to
video.
cross out the names of these absolute idiots. They deserve the ridicule. They deserve the hate. That's the difference between me and normal people.
Yeah, you are a bit of a contrarian, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh, you've told me. But you're also a retard, so.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Contrarian. No, what is this? No, this is Ancestry. A person who opposes or rejects popular opinion. All right, buddy, explain this.
In the colloquial sense, someone who likes to argue.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
Like you will not let something go. Like you can't
Yes,
you
I
can't
will.
you can't scroll past a stupid tweet.
Okay,
Like-
that's true.
Like you're like you'll pass by like some dumb tweet and you'll be like, open a history book, you dumb bitch.
I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Did you see that tweet?
Yeah, but I mean, what's the point? Like, thousands of other people have already like told her the same thing.
Bro.
What's the point?
Bro, you gotta add on to that hate. They gotta know they've done wrong.
Of course, yeah. I don't know.
Dude,
I'm just
wait a minute. I'm trying to access the podcast, right?
yeah.
And it says the Bethesda.net account is required to play this title. Please connect to the internet to continue.
What?
What does this mean? A Bethesda.net account is required to play this title. Please connect to the internet to continue. What does this mean?
I'm not sure.
Come on, bro. You don't know the whole deal going on with Doom right now?
No, I
Dang.
don't. I'm not a Doom fan.
You aren't even caught up with the news, dude. Can't even make jokes. Well, it's not really a Doom thing. So the thing is that Bethesda re-released Doom 1, 2, and PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And when people were trying to play it, it was all like, you need a Bethesda.net account to log in. And they were like, really? They're making you log into a fucking like a game just to play it?
Wow.
So people were pretty mad.
I don't know. Bethesda's pretty shady as a company, though. Almost as shady as EA, but not even close.
Literally right after you called me contrarian, I'm in an argument with another dude on Twitter.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
You have a problem.
I'm sorry, dude. It's not even about being right either, because I can get being wrong. But it's just like the process of arguing, you know?
Yeah, it fuels your hatred.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can get, arguing, but a lot of times it's just not worth it, And I feel like that's part of maturing,
Oh, you're so mature, Aaron. Right?
I knew that would get you.
Is that what you're getting at here, brother?
I don't know, bro.
No thanks, bro.
What were we talking about before this?
You were talking about me being a contrarian.
No, before all that.
No, that's exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, David Lynch. I think Mulholland Drive would be a good film for you to watch. Although I gotta warn you, it's a bit long. It's like almost 2.5 hours. But it doesn't feel like it, honestly, when you're watching it. Just because you like those sort of like thought-provoking films, And nothing like in the film is ever like confirmed. So really, it's all open to interpretation. Fun
Who's
fact:
the guy on the Eraserhead cover?
Jack Nance. Fun fact about Eraserhead: it's filmed over 5 years, which is an awful long time to film a movie. And Jack Nance had to keep his hair like that for 5 years.
John Nance.
Dang.
Jack John Nance.
So this thing started filming in 1972?
Yeah, while he was a student at AFI.
Dang.
Yeah. In answer to address your comment, James, which I don't appreciate.
He's dead now.
Yeah, he died in, 94?
96.
96, yeah. He got beat up outside a diner, and then he died due to complications. It's
That's so sad.
That's
it's
not
really
funny.
sad, yeah.
That's so sad. Why did they do that to him?
Well, it's
Why are you
implied
laughing at it?
it's implied that he was drunk
Okay.
and he picked a fight with
Shut up, James.
people outside the diner. But
People respond to grief in very strange ways.
but the story as it was reported says that he was jumped.
That's so sad, dude.
Yeah. He was fine afterwards, like he walked away, but like they found his body like in his bathroom, like lying face down, and he died of like a hemorrhage in his brain.
Oh, that's very awful.
Yeah.
Was he in that other one, the Twin Peaks or whatever?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's weird because like he's credited as John Nance in Eraserhead, but he's credited as Jack Nance in Twin Peaks.
Weird.
Dude, this dude, Hal Landon Jr., who played Pencil Machine... What? Or something. Played Pencil something. This dude should have been a Eraserhead. If you look at him, he's got a fucking huge forehead. That is an Eraserhead.
I don't know. To this day, I've seen it 5 times, and I still don't understand the meaning of it. I don't know what the title refers to.
Look at his hair.
Yeah, but I mean that's super surface level, you know?
No, that's it.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah. Perhaps.
It's a question for
Perhaps.
God.
I
It's
mean,
a
if he,
question for David Lynch.
a question he'll never answer. Instead, he'd rather make a 25-minute short film about him making quinoa.
Making what?
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
Interesting.
It's fantastic. One of his best films, by the way. Loved it. It's just 30 minutes of him, well, 25,
Getting
of
lynched.
him making quinoa and telling Hollywood stories.
Interesting.
I would pay for a cooking show like that.
You call that a film?
Anything could be a film. I saw
I
Dune.
interpret that as films are done.
I saw Dune, and it sucked.
Dang.
And it really,
I bet after
it's,
watching that, you wanted to be lynched.
it's really, it's really discouraged me from wanting to read the novel. Because, yeah, the film was just
The novel was
so,
really,
so
really interesting.
boring.
It's like really early sci-fi.
Yeah. I don't know, it's what, 7 years after Star Wars? Oh, I'm sorry, the film, I mean. The novel came out,
film.
what, 55?
Let's see. Dune book release date. Dune released in 1965. So what, like 4 years? 5 years before Star Wars? When did Star
12.
Wars come out?
77.
77?
Yep.
Oh, I'm thinking of Alien. Aliens came out in 69. Okay, I was thinking of Alien.
Alien? 69?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No way. Ridley Scott wasn't even making films at that point.
Or 79, maybe?
70...
79. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm
69
way
would have
off.
been like the age of Kubrick, you know?
The
If
age of Kubrick.
if Alien had come out during that year, like it would have blown away, like everybody.
When did that giant ant movie come out?
Giant ant.
Ant movie. Yeah, it's
Talking
called
about
Them.
ants
It came
or
out in
Bugs
1954. That's a movie that I've always wanted to see.
Interesting.
There's 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Schlock.
7.3 on IMDb. Dude, it's only an hour and a half. We should watch this.
Possibly. You know what else
What
is
do you
an hour and a
mean,
half?
Possibly. Eraserhead.
David Lynch's Eraserhead.
You know what else is an hour and a half? October Skies.
What's October Skies?
It's a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's about the space race.
Oh, Brokeback Mountain.
Ah, yeah, that's the one.
Ah, it's got Laura Dern in it. I approve.
It's really fucking good, dude. I watched it the other day.
But have you seen Them? A
Almost cried.
horde of crawl and crush giants clawing out of the earth from mile-deep catacombs?
I think if Anthony watched it, he would definitely cry.
I haven't seen them,
Dude,
but I've
I've
seen
tried-
us.
It almost made me cry.
I don't know. I don't cry in films. I don't believe
Because
it.
y'all don't empathize, dude. You didn't cry when freaking Abakio?
Not
Wait,
really.
Abakio? You didn't cry when Abakio?
Dude, if you don't
Or
cry when
Naruto, bro?
Abakio, then do you cry at all?
Did you cry at all?
No.
There's a
In
lot
fact,
of
I laughed. I laughed when Narancia died.
Really? I did in the manga, but in the anime I cried.
It was.
I don't know.
It was better done.
I think
It was better done in the anime.
it's because of the voice actors. The voice actors definitely like do justice.
Yeah, it lends an element of like additional like emotional layering to it, but
especially
you don't get
Abakio's.
Oh yeah,
That one was hard to watch.
yeah, that one made me sad. Yeah,
All right, here's the trade-off. I watch Eraserhead, and then you watch
Lynch
Sam
James.
with me.
I watch what?
Stand With Me?
Sam.
Them.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the ant movie.
It's not an ant movie, dude. Does it
Yes,
say
it is an
ant?
ant movie.
Does that look like an ant to you?
It's a fucking giant alien ant. Yes. does look exactly like an ant. I'm pretty sure, literally, it's called an ant.
Okay, so I guess all those giant freaking insects in Earth Defense Force are ants. Apparently,
They are ants, except for the
They're not.
spiders and the other ones that aren't ants.
They don't say ants; they say giant insects.
It's because they don't know how to say ant.
Oh, dude, are you trying to say something about the Japanese?
No,
no.
dude.
Bro, come on.
What are you talking about, dude?
That's messed up.
No, I'm not trying to say anything about the Japanese, dude. What? I'm
That's
saying
fine.
they can't.
I'll never forgive the Japanese.
James refuses to watch anime in general.
No, that's not true. I watch.
That is
Pokemon.
true.
Is it a Japanese thing, James?
It's not a Japanese thing.
What's your deal with anime, James?
I just don't like the hardcore anime,
Like what?
like One Piece or JoJo.
Yeah, no, I
and stuff
understand
like
that. JoJo's not hardcore. Fuck off. Anyway,
I mean, it's hardcore in that I
you
have to
didn't watch
watch it with
Erased.
subtitles to enjoy it.
You didn't watch Erased with us. That was a very good self-contained story.
I don't remember anyone saying about Erased.
Yep, me, Albert, and Eric all watched it in the living room, and you stayed in your room.
I don't remember that, so
Yeah, sure you
I
don't.
apologize.
Speaking of anime, I tried watching Dragon Ball. God, it's so boring,
It's really
Yeah.
long-winded.
and the art
I
style
tried.
and the art style sucks.
Yeah, I hope Xavier's listening in on this one.
Yeah, if you're listening, Xavier, I'm sorry.
Dragon Ball's for gym bros.
I'm really trying to watch it. I'm on episode 46 now.
Whoa, I got like 2 chapters into the manga, and I couldn't read further.
Ugh, it's just so boring. And then the weird, like, perverted humor is just out of place. Especially because the animation makes it seem like a kid's anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching it in English, by the way, because I can't stand the Japanese VAs.
Yeah.
The Japanese voice actor for Goku sounds so weird.
It's because it's like an old lady.
Yeah, she's like really old.
Yeah.
Well, so is Luffy's voice actor, but Luffy doesn't sound that weird in Japanese.
Xavier told me something about it, but apparently, like, in Japan, like, you know, a higher voice is, like, correlated with, like, strength or something like that. Something he was telling me about.
I have no clue.
that's
I don't
the
know
reason
anything
why,
about
from
the
what he told
Japanese
me.
culture.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Is that the hardcore anime you're referring to, James?
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
No.
I assume Dragon Ball Z is better because I'm actually on Dragon Ball, which is the first one.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Kid
was Dragon Ball.
Goku is just super boring. All the exciting stuff happens in Dragon Ball Z.
I just
from
want to
what
watch
understand.
the movie. What is it? Broly.
Was that the one that had
John Bellion.
John Billion in it?
Yeah, he voice acts in it, which I want to check out.
Who did he voice?
He voices a
Broly.
random soldier.
Oh,
That's like I think it's like Frieza Soldier 3, but it's still like a short little cameo, but it'd still be cool to see.
yeah.
Especially since the dude who voices Vegeta and Piccolo is he's in John Bellion's album. He like hosts a whole mixtape. It's pretty sick.
Oh, nice.
Dang.
All right, Anthony, I got a question for you.
What is it, brother?
Reservoir Dogs or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas. I'm sorry.
Same.
100% Goodfellas.
Goodfellas
is such
is
a good movie.
An amazing narrative, beautifully crafted, visually, like sound design is incredible. Just everything.
Better
about
than The
it.
Godfather.
I
I said
agree.
it. Thank you.
I think The Godfather's overrated,
Thank you.
and actually, it's not even considered the #1 film anymore. After 2000, because you know it came out in 2000.
Goodfellas.
David Lynch's Mulholland Drive, which is now considered
Mulholland Drive.
to be the best film of all time.
What?
Yeah,
Bro. There's no way.
certainly.
They have not seen Jungle Book.
Jon Favreau's The Jungle Book.
No. The Jungle Book.
Okay.
No, the other Jungle Book. What was it? Mowgli with
Yeah, the weird Netflix one.
yeah.
No, not that one. The one I had to watch for class when I was in college. It was this really old one.
Oh,
It was live action.
still haven't seen The Lion King, James, and I don't think I'm
haven't?
going to. No.
I still haven't seen the original.
Disney's not getting my money.
Never again.
Take that, Disney. Disney, if you're listening, please please consider my films in future careers.
No, only if they have superheroes or men with laser swords.
Dude, I'd direct a Marvel film. I feel like I'd be good at that. Because I have the background, you know. But I also really like film, like from a technical standpoint. It's when you have that perfect marriage of like a great filmmaker and like someone that cares about the material, like Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Which is why Thor got what is it? Thor: Love and Thunder?
I think so. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. It's great that they brought Natalie Portman back.
Bro.
They must have literally
Bro, I don't know, bro.
give her a huge sack of money.
That seems kind of forced, bro, that they're bringing a female Thor. Bro, I don't know. Like, it seems kind of forced.
I don't know. I think it'll be great. Also,
Bro, I don't know.
Valkyrie's a lesbian. How progressive.
Bro, that's so
I thought she
forced, bro.
was lesbian?
Yeah. She's the leader of Asgard now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Especially because any film with Tessa Thompson in it is automatically a great film. So.
Are you excited to see how they're going to introduce all these new characters in the MCU?
It'll be interesting because I'm hoping it's better done than all new, all different Marvel. There's a movement from about 2015 to 2018 in which they just replaced all the traditional characters with new versions of themselves. So like there was Jane Foster Thor, Sam Wilson Cap, Ironheart, which is a black female Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man. Yeah.
There was the Totally Awesome Hulk. Yes, that's the full title. It was Amadeus Cho, his Asian lab assistant, who became the Hulk. So
That's totally awesome.
That is totally awesome. Super different characters actually, because Amadeus could actually control the Hulk, similar to what he's like in the MCU right now. So like that, think of like that level of autonomy.
Did you ever watch that video I sent you from that YouTube?
Yeah, I finished watching it.
What'd you think about that?
Going back, I didn't like Secret Empire at the time, but watching the video really like brought up a lot of things that I didn't really think about.
Yeah.
Like the sort of deeper like political and like philosophical like meanings of it, you know?
Yeah, because I don't really read comics, you know.
Yeah.
So, I remember when that whole debacle came out about Secret War, and people were like really, really fucking pissed about it.
Yeah, people were outraged.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's essentially
after-
a deconstruction of what the entire character of Captain America represents.
Yeah, but like he says in the video, like people were jumping the gun way too quick
Yeah,
on what the creator had planned for the story.
that tends to happen a lot of times because people don't like change, you know?
Yeah.
Myself included. Like, I was also pretty reactionary during that like story arc. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that video like really brought out a lot of good points.
Yeah, that
Same thing.
YouTube's really interesting.
Same thing kind of happened in the '90s with Spider-Man and the Clone Saga. It's a massive event series that went on for like 60 issues, nearly 2 years. Like the idea was that, you know, Peter Parker was a clone the entire time, and that the Peter Parker that we've been following is actually a clone, and the other clone that we thought was just a clone is actually the real Peter Parker. It had the potential to be a really, really interesting story arc, but because of like that reactionary like thinking. You know, they had to change a lot of it. They just became
Yeah.
really convoluted and like really watered down.
I want to get into comics, but the weird thing is like I can read manga for like days. You know, it's like it's really interesting. But when it comes to comics, it's not interesting. Other than like Scott Pilgrim, I don't think and Watchmen, I don't think I've gotten into like a really good one.
For me,
It
it's
has to be like a graphic novel. It can't
Yeah.
be just like issued comics.
for me, it has to be a character that I really like. Which, you know, I like characters that have deeper like journeys than just like the surface level, you know, like typical superhero fare. Like particularly like the X-Men, you know, because there's a lot of deeper political and like even like socioeconomic like themes that you can build up there.
Yeah, because the X-Men was like an allegory for the civil rights movement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right back, fellas.
All right.
Okay.
Oh God, the Jungle Book Mowgli story.
I'm pretty sure that's the one he was talking about.
Yeah, this
'Cause I looked it
looks
up and
this
it's
looks
like,
pretty
oh.
bad.
It doesn't look great.
This looks
There's
like
a dog.
yeah, this looks like one of those. How can that dog even be there? That's not the. I'm not gonna ask.
It's the jungle dude, the jungle wolf, you know.
Of course, yeah. This looks like one of those like cheap, straight to video movies where they
It probably was.
like just use like nature shots and then just dub a voice over it. Like it doesn't even
Oh,
matter if
yeah.
their mouth's moving. That's what it looks like.
Maybe.
Speaking of straight to video release, depending on, you know, like our production schedule and everything,
Mhm.
I'm going to
Yeah.
talk to my publicist and see if we can like reach out to somebody to
Yeah.
get a distributor for the Tortellinis.
Sick.
Because I'd really like to do like a theatrical run, but I know that's
Yeah.
super ambitious.
Oh yeah.
So even if it's
Yeah.
just like a one night, like, you know, rent a theater type thing, I think that'd be cool for the premiere.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be pretty sick.
But
Even if it's just us, I think that'd be
yeah,
fun.
like long term, I'm thinking like straight to DVD would be a good model, you know?
All right.
'Cause, I mean, there's
guys.
there's shitty stuff that's gotten released before, you know, like Suburban
Mhm.
Sasquatch.
Sharknado.
Like somebody's willing to buy that, you know?
Buck
yeah.
Black.
Taken off.
Evil. What was it? Evil Bong versus whatever.
Oh yeah. There's Ginger Dead Man.
Evil Bong versus Gingerbread Man or something like that.
Dead Man.
Ginger Dead. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
It's so stupid.
fantastic.
All right. But yeah, I'm gonna head out.
All
All
right.
right.
It's been fun.
Well, thanks for joining us on this
Yes,
episode
sir.
of A Shot in the Dark.
Call me a contrarian again, and I'll argue with you. Let's
All right.
argue about that next time. All right.
All right, catch you later.
Bye bye.
All right, peace. Later.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Unless you had
Okay.
anything else to contribute, James.
No, I don't. Not for this episode.
Cool. Yeah, tune in here in 2 weeks, whenever we will discuss something
We'll find out
eventually.
within the next 2 weeks.
But yeah, all right. Peace out.
Peace.